So since Quincy, Mr. Brown, have questions, we'll just start with his questions. The first question seems to be about two girls that he has kept around for a while that he hangs with, named Paula and Chelsea. Chelsea? Okay, so is he working with them professionally? Has he friends on them? Or were there ever any romantic feelings with any of the? Okay, so Paula, Chelsea, and Quincy. You know what I just saw when I said that? It's like that three thing that be. And I don't know if do Chelsea and Paula like each other, because it's giving me that vibe of like I call it the Disney formula, the Disney character formula, right? Like you had Raven, Chelsea, and Eddie, and then on Lizzie McGuire you had Lizzie Gordo, and who was the other? The girl, what's her name? Miranda, was it? Then on Ant Farm, you had China, and you know what I'm saying? It's like that. Those three, that three. That's kind of what this is giving. But let's take a look. Welcome to my newbies. Hello to my oldies. My name is Diamond, and you are watching Pretty Blind Eyes. The readings held on this channel are for entertainment purposes only. The discussions held on this channel should not be taken as literal advice. I am legally blind, so I do read on my cards to decipher what they are, but I'm an overall intuitive reader. In the description box below, you can find several ways to interact with me, one of which is the availability to book private readings. That calendar is open. Guys, don't forget, I'm doing summer discounts. All summer long is on the the community tab is where you can always find it. If you go on my homepage, those prices are regular prices, so be sure to get on the community tab to get those discounts all summer. Okay, all right. Chelsea, Paula, and Quincy. One of them, I do feel like I'm gonna describe the one I'm picking up on. If this fits her profile, she gives me like a more like she looks feminine, but she has a masculine aggression to her. I'm trying to think of somebody that we know that I can like match her to. There could have been some sort of close card encounter with one of them. I'm almost willing to say Paula, but I'm not sure. But it doesn't give like you know how some of the friends get to drinking and you want to play this game or that game. It's something like that, maybe. I don't know. I feel a little longer. I don't know. One of them do feel there's some sexual energy there that may have. Okay, Six of Pentacles, Fool card, Six of Swords, Chelsea and Paula, Empress, Sun card. If you look around, they're playing, Can You Feel It? The whole world's coming together now. I don't know why. Sun card, Five of Cups. Okay, so maybe, yeah, I'd say like he likes having that feminine energy around because there's his mom right here. So maybe that's what keeps him close to that. Maybe that's also why he's like really, really dry. You know how he is about his siblings anyway, but there was also still something with him and Delilah and Jesse too. That was like more like how Chelsea and Paula is with him too. Queen of Swords, Five of Swords, Five of Wands. Yeah, one of them a little, one of them got some bite to them. And I bet and feel like this is Paula. Chelsea's energy feels more softer. I'm not saying girly, but I'm about to tell y'all. She puts me in the mind of Posh Spice a little bit, maybe. Or like, I'm going to tell y'all another. Have any of y'all seen Not Another Teenage Movie? Have any of y'all seen that? And y'all remember that girl, I think, this ain't funny, I don't know. But I think she kept failing, right? So she was older than everybody in her class. I think she was a senior, but she just kept failing. And then she kept hitting on all the young boys and stuff. And like she was a freak, right? And then at one of the parties, remember she kissed that old lady. Like, yeah, this girl gives me, which one of them give me like, bisexual energy, fluid energy. She could be very, aggressive in a way where she takes the initiative. She has a lot of masculine energy, but she got a little feminine face and stuff, but it do got a little bite to it. But one of them, there has been some strange encounters, it feels like, but it like no romance. Knight of Cups, King of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. Knight of Swords, King of Swords. And a Page of Pentacles. I feel like for him to even if he's spending a whole lot more time with them than usual, it's like a family escape kind of thing. It's like not an escape from the family, but just to have that feeling of family, or he feels safe with them, even when he has fallen outs with his family too. You know, they're like a good escape for him. Let me see, Seven of Cups. King of Cups. Yeah, and he gets to, like, you know, kind of just be more emotional without feeling judged. You know, being in a room full of guys, you got to play tough all the time. So yeah, I would agree and say that some of it has to do with just him like in the company of femininity to help him balance things out. Justice card with the Page of Swords. Yeah, I feel like some sort of increase here due to, you know, the family issues and stuff right now with Diddy and everything like that. Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups, right? And the Eight of Pentacles. Let me see what this is. Eight of Pentacles, Four of Cups. There is a stuck energy here too with a Queen of Cups. I feel like one of them, this might be Chelsea, holds on to betting that he, like, I don't know how popular the two girls are, but this is giving, like, especially for maybe Chelsea or the softer one if it's not Chelsea. She's kind of like, I'm not trying to say she's using him or anything, but I feel like she hangs around on the hopes that there's a certain type of level of blow up situation that he'd have, and then it's like she's almost, but like, let's say she went to school for like fashion and design, right? But then she connected with Quincy, right? I feel like she just will always hang up under him till the end of the time, just watching and monitoring when he blow up, and then that's when she'll blow. Like, it's almost like she's waiting for his success so that she can have success, in a sense, you know, instead of like kind of venturing off into her other stuff. So there's someone here that'll hang around to the end and want to be like his manager or his co-partner in something, and all of that kind of stuff too. So,
since he does have girlfriends, do you think there will be any issues with these girls when he does finally get into a relationship? Or will he be able to be friends with his girlfriends?
Will he be able to still be friends with these girls when a girl comes in? I'm hearing dead weight, you know, so maybe him being in a loving relationship may shift the energy to the point where he may even start to feel like they are not complimentary to him anymore, maybe. So I feel like the woman that he ends up with will outshine these two girls. Like, I feel like the energy that they will share together, or the femininity that the girl that he ends up with will have, it will be like, it will overpower it. Like, he started to feel like they're useless, honestly. So if they were smart, they'll start to have things outside of themselves, because it will be him that kind of like just shift away from them versus them ever like really shifting away from him. But let's see. Three of Cups. Will he have to get rid of his friends? Ten of Swords. Yeah, it would defeat the purpose of what they're in his life for right now. And I feel like for him right now, they give him a sense of community outside of family life, and a little touch of femininity when it comes to him needing and wanting that kind of nurturing energy from family. You know, I give Rat Pack energy, right? Or like, they give him a sense of identity right now. That's all it really is. So again, I'd say if they're smart, they'll start to, like, you know, have an identity outside of him. And not just, even if they do their own thing, they still need to make sure it don't rope back into him at all. Because I'm not seeing where, yep, heartache, yeah. Yeah, it might be a list, you know. Quincy gonna act funny though. He ain't gonna do it the right way. He gonna be avoidant. He's not gonna like have a sit down with these girls and say, like, you know what, hey, we need to like cut it back a little bit. He's just gonna hope that they get the picture. That moon card and that their little heart's gonna be broken, especially if they keep all their eggs in one basket. That's what that feels like. So I mean, do I feel like the girl will actually have a problem with it? No. I mean, will she allow it? No. But like when she first come in and all that kind of stuff, I don't feel like she's gonna come in controlling. Like, you need it. No. You know, I think it'll be a natural, loving shift. World card, Hermit card, Strength card, Hangman, and the King of Pentacles. He's gonna be like on his shit though when he get with this girl. So they gonna swear. You listen. He might want to gag order their asses now, put NDAs on them when this girl come in, because they're gonna swear up and down. He's just acting so funny. He act like he's too good. Yeah. But he really will be busy, and again, he will prioritize this relationship because it's gonna be more than what he ever had. Where he didn't have to, with her, he's not gonna have to bounce around from person to person to make one big ball of like energy. She's gonna have it all. See, High Priestess with the Page of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, Devil card. Also, too, there's something she could do that could be taboo. I'd say it has something to do with like tarot and stuff like that, maybe runes, or it's some high level of spiritualism, in order that she has a witch herself on speed dial. But she's into this kind of stuff too, and I feel like the girls may try to call her the devil or something like that, or they'll be the ones having the little ick about the connection. But I think it'll have more to do with the way Quincy handles it. So he has the free will to do it right, but he's going to be very tempted to not. He's going to be very avoidant at first, it feels.
Do you think he will start his long-term relationship this year?
Will he start his long-term relationship? I am hearing that it's important for Quincy to find something long-term to commit to first. Before it's a person, right? So I feel like once he get the flow of his career, like that spark, that niche, that's something that keeps him consistent and locked into something that he feels like, oh yeah, this is mine, this is my legacy, I can build from this, I can branch off from this or that. Then that's how he's gonna end up attracting like a more consistent and stable relationship. So I will say this year feels more like work, his finding his identity in his career, and when it comes to what his legacy looked like outside of his family, outside of Diddy and stuff, and then love. So far I'm seeing spring or summer of next year if he locks in this year. I'm seeing a peak in November for something for him. So yeah.
How's his relationship with Diddy since he's been in jail?
His relationship with Diddy since he's been in jail. I feel like Quincy could start to see and feel what he feared when it comes to his relationship with Diddy, because I feel like Quincy felt more useful when he was having to actually take action while Diddy was out versus now Diddy being in. I think they both are having to realize that they don't have much to really talk about, to be honest. They could talk about the things around them, even his childhood and stuff, but I feel like Diddy's energy is different towards Quincy if Quincy can't do anything that Diddy wants him to do. And from what I'm feeling here, it feels a little bland. Because Quincy give me those vibes of a guy who, he could, like, he's big on family, it feels, so he'll do anything. He'll put his family before him, right? And so I feel like it's just like a relationship with people. Let's say like two friends became friends because they both had a love or was a fan of someone, right? Or they both had a love for this or that. But then it changes. Somebody outgrows whatever that commonality is, that common interest that they had. And then they realize they really weren't true friends. They just, what bonded them was that commonality that they had. So I feel like since Diddy's been in jail, I think Quincy's starting to realize like there wasn't or isn't any debt to them, and then thus still challenging his father issues, and probably could be tickling that emptiness that he's still having to heal when it comes to father-son energy. So I feel like, things are standard and steady, but I feel like he's not feeling much anymore because Diddy don't need him as much as he used to. And I feel like Quincy had developed a strange concept of what love feels like. It's more of a feminine energy, actually, because most women feel this way, like when they're not needed by their children, or they're not needed by their parents, or they can't take care of their siblings or their parents and stuff. They don't have an identity because they feel like they have a purpose when they are able to take care. It's a good quality, but it can also be a quality that person can abuse and can get abused and taken advantage of by other people who could be very codependent on them. And so I think during this time that Diddy's being locked up would be a great time for him to not fear that emptiness that he's starting to feel and understand that he should never have identified with being used as a point of purpose. And I think that's also what has been getting in the way of him finding his life purpose, because he probably feels definitely feels good to be there. Acts of service could be his love language, and but you just got to find a healthy way to embrace that and cope with it and utilize it in the proper way, and how to interact and procreate with other people to engage with you in that way. So I think for him that's what's going to start happening if it hasn't yet.
6. He seems to be working on his own film project right now. Do you think this is a step in the right direction to gain some of his own independence?
I really hope so. And I think that's just what we talked about. So she said he's currently working on his, his film right now. And do I think that's a step towards his independence? I really hope so. It almost reminds me of like what I used to tell girls and their little boyfriends would get locked up and stuff. I'd be like, hey, now is your time to really find you. Because that person is still going to be in that same spot. You're not missing out on much with them. You get to really see them for who they are if you really want to see them for who they are. And at the same time, you really get to take your time and really work on yourself and kind of ease out of that situation and grow, instead of allowing yourself to be stunted with that person who chose to get themselves into those sorts of consequences by getting locked up. So that's the vibe I'm getting at for him with that too. And it's still in association with Diddy and finding his own independence and his identity and creating his own legacy.
7. Do you ever see money being an issue for him given what his family is going through? 7. Do you ever see money being an issue for him given what his family is going through?
Do I ever see him see an issue of him getting money because of what his family? No. I feel like there are so many people that always wanted to work with Quincy, and I feel like he lost a lot of opportunities due to Diddy. And I think that the large message now is to, again, not put his life on hold. Even if he wanted to look at it like, man, I got to run the ship now. I got to make sure things are right before Diddy gets home. Even if he can't let go of that concept and he still feels like he has to be like this people pleaser to Diddy, it still end up helping him in the end. But if he could do it on a stronger level, a lot of people, but I think he fears it, and when you have been trained so long, you'll still fear a person that's locked up when they really can't do much, because he could probably be even thinking about, well, if he come out, what if he still have strings to pull to make my whole empire fall down? I feel like deep down, Quincy knows that Diddy has always been jealous of him, and that Diddy, brought him in as close as he can just to gatekeep him from being more, finding his own success. Because I don't know, I think he do got a vendetta against like pretty boys, tall boys and stuff like that. He's it's not hard to figure out. That's my opinion. So I think if he really faces his fears and just cut loose and really choose himself to make himself happy, and he's lucky. As far as I know, we don't got kids or nothing. This is the best time. But I think, some fears sitting in there, he's afraid of Diddy calling him, telling him he's not loyal and all that kind of stuff. And I think Diddy kind of like made him feel like, hey, I saved you from this stuff. They were going to take advantage of you anyway. But he would get stronger learning these things on his own. He didn't want him to have a mind of his own. He can make loads of money. He's a great actor. I love seeing him act. And he got it, it's real smooth. He got it. And but I think he'd be looking for everything outside of that he thinks that Diddy won't get in the way of, but he's selling himself short and watering himself down. And so, that's the lesson he's going to have to learn in that. But plenty of money out there. People will sign him in a heartbeat, do a lot of great things with him. He's just probably scared or so.
Thank you for answering these.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, guys. So I don't know if y'all want to love them. Let me just finish these, okay? She said thank you for answering these. Yeah, no problem. All right. Thank you for submitting, too. Like I told y'all, these are how these readings get long. If you want to get more into profiles of these energies, that's what you have to do. All right, let's see. So let's get into some final messages for Quincy here. Knight of Cups with the Six of Swords. And the Four of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Six of Swords, Four of Pentacles, Five of Cups with the Five of Wands. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he will. Because it looks like, there looks like a potential for him to challenge this fear. I mean, I hope he does, because it's going to really set him free. And he'd be surprised of how much power he really have now. Like, and how much more Diddy will need him. So he still could satisfy whatever that is inside of him that he does now that's stunting him. He could choose to grow, and he's still going to have power over it. He's still... Anyway, like I was saying in the Chris reading, no one could no one can avoid certain things that's fate. And for him, I feel like, you know, Diddy could always see his talent or whatever was in him and that he could go far and stuff. And all Diddy really has done is prolonged it. What's promised to him will always be for him, just as long as he utilizes free will to get there. His fate is still his fate. So even now, that's why I don't see where no one won't, you know, I feel like a lot of them want him. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of them now want him out of revenge. But still, like, have a good time. You're not getting any younger. You know, see what it is. See what it's about. And he's way smarter than, you know, I feel like he's way more strategic and skilled than he ever, like more than Diddy, really. 3 of Pentacles. 9 of Wands. Yeah, this is that brick wall that he just kind of put him in a jar to make him believe that he's no bigger or can't go no further than the lid on that jar. 3 of Wands, 8 of Cups. There's another business plan or something that he walked away from. I feel like maybe even the person that produced Star, there could be some sort of revival with that, or some other kind of show that's similar as well. And I feel like he's at his happiest when he's like in this kind of stuff, like when he's on set for series and things like that. That is where it is. But a lot of times our purpose like be right there up under our noses, and then we got to come in full circle to it. So yeah, final messages for Quincy. 1 card. See, 7 of Wands. This is giving, you know, being more expressive, standing up for himself. Not that he ain't got to be disrespectful, but you could say things in a way to make motherfuckers respect you. You know, they may not like it, but they have to respect you, especially if you know what you own and what you're about and that you mean well. All right, guys. Well, my name is Diamond. You're watching Pretty Blind Eyes, and I'll see you next go around. Bye.